And you did say just then you like getting good players out and you like getting the best players out. I did read earlier, you got Sangakkara out in your debut, your first class wicket, is that right?
That was right, yeah.
Yeah. You got Khawaja out in Test wicket, and you got AB de Villiers out in T20. So there's 3 pretty good players.
And Machan in my first 50 over game.
Who?
And you.
Really?
Yeah.
T20?
I got you on a 50 over game as well. It was...
You did at Long On.
Yeah.
At the Aegeus Bowl.
Yeah.
Try hitting 6.
You
I remember
did.
I was on 93.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't put myself in the same category as those 3. In my mind, maybe. But those players, and I'm going to say it, de Villiers and Sangakkara will go, I believe, in the top 5 to top 6 players to ever bat playing cricket, ever. The things they do are phenomenal. One was in 4-day cricket, 5-day cricket, and one was in T20 cricket. You like getting good players out, but what changes how you bowl in each format? Because Test cricket, it's almost a war of attrition. First class cricket, a war of attrition. You've got to bowl all day, long spells, which are tiring. T20, probably not as mentally challenging, but physically very challenging. You know, if you're running around, you're going to be, what do they run? 7, 8, 9K, some players in the field, and then you've got to bowl 4 overs. What do you do differently in each format to bowl? We'll start with 4-day cricket.
Yeah.
4-day cricket, for me, this is what you said. I watch spinners and seamers bowl in 4-day cricket, and I couldn't think of anything worse. Running up all day for 20 overs to not get any rewards.
Yeah.
For me, it's just mind-numbing. But at the same time, people love it.
They do. Yeah. Well,
and that's nothing against anyone, but you know what I mean.
I'm actually the same opinion.
Yeah.
How seamers can run in all day and they leave it alone and they're happy with it and they bowl maidens and stuff. Great, but I couldn't do it. And so I'm trying to get wickets when I'm bowling. I'm looking how am I going to get a wicket, and sometimes that is going to come from a string of good balls, and then they're going to make a mistake or whatever. But for me, obviously, I'm trying to work out a way how I can get them out, and it's a different way than T20. Whereas 4-day cricket, it's about I actually have to bowl a ball that is too good for the batsman, and how I reach that point varies. When I say I'm bowling a ball too good for the batsman, it's not like I'm going to try and bowl every ball to pitch outside leg and hit off, and hopefully one of them does it. That's not what I mean. I mean, over a period of time, I've built pressure on the batsman, or I've shown them so many leg spinners, whatever, that in their mind they have to do something different, or this is what they're used to. They're used to the ball spinning this way at this pace. That then I can do something different. I can bowl variation that's going to spin the other way or bounce a bit more or something. But it happens over a much longer period of time. Do you like people going after you then when you bowl in 4-day cricket? Do you like people coming at you, or do you prefer them to sit back? Because leg spin's hard. Well, I keep saying it's hard. I'm picturing because I can't do it. Yeah. Obviously you say it's natural, but you're going to bowl more bad balls than a finger spinner, for instance. Do you find it easy when someone's coming at you, or do you find it harder because they can sit back and capitalise on maybe that cut ball they can cut you for 4, or that mistake? I think that some players. So I bowled at Cook this year here. He's in his. Got 100 in that game. He's in his bunker, and so I'm trying to get him out of it. So I want him to come at me and play a different shot. There are other players their attack is actually better than the defence. So then I'm going, how can I make them play as many defensive shots as possible? Because they want to be driving, they want to be running, using their feet, they want to sweep. But how can I stop them doing that? And then I'm bowling at their weaker defence. And that will probably mean that then they look for a scoring shot when it's not there. Whereas a Cook, I'm going the other way. How can I make him try and play a drive? How can I cut off his clip to the leg side and then his cut? How can I cut that off and make him have to play me straight or do something else? Do you set fields then for the clip shot, as in would you have deep backward square and a cut man out straight away? And so you know your bad ball's only going for 1? Yeah. And I think, but someone like Cook, he's not looking to hit me for 4 so much. He's looking for 1s. So how can I cut down the 1s? So I have the men out for the protection, but can I cut off his 1s in the area he wants to hit them? So then he has to hit a 1 somewhere else, and that gives me more chance to get a wicket. And that's where it's quite individual in that sense. But obviously it would take a long time. So I think I'd have bowled up 15 overs at Cook, and I probably went at 1.5, 2 and over, and it was a bit of a war of attrition in that sense.
Sure.
But then you also have to look at day one. It's going to be tough to take a lot of wickets, but hang in there all day, and hopefully the seamers can do the job. And then by the end, on day 4, a few foot holes and it's spinning a lot.
Do you find yourself under pressure though, day 4, when someone's like, right, spinners in it, you've got to win us the game, they chuck you the ball and go, Mace, right, it's your time to step up? Do you enjoy that pressure?
Yeah, well, I do enjoy it.
I'm going to win this game
Yeah,
for my team.
I enjoy it when I'm out there because I'm like, this is kind of what I'm here for. This is what I do. This is what I've always been doing.
Getting in the battle, aren't you?
Yeah, and then I'm thinking, right, how am I getting this guy out?
Would you have your plans before you stepped out there, or would you?
To pretty much all the batters, I'd have an idea of firstly where do they want to hit me, what's their go-to. To some batters, he's going to try and be back foot as much as he can. Okay, I can bowl a bit fuller maybe, maybe a bit quicker, mix up my pace a bit. To other people, he's going to sweep a lot. I'm just getting my head around it. Okay, what field am I going to have? How am I going to bowl to someone who's sweeping a lot? I'd have that in my mind, but it comes down. Day 4, if it's spinning a lot and there's rough and stuff, it kind of comes down to I'm just going to keep bowling well, and eventually I'm going to get a wicket because I'm going to keep bowling well. They can't keep these out all day.
Now, how would your pre-planning come in there? Because obviously you touched on you have your plans before you go out there. You try and cut their strengths down first, work out how they're looking to play you. But would you plan the night before? I know in county cricket you play a lot of people a lot of times in different formats, so you get a gauge quite quickly how someone's going to play. But say you've come across a new batter or someone's doing well that you haven't heard of, would you look at the footage from the analysis man, whatever it is, to then work out a plan or speak to people so you have that mind, that plan going into the game before? Or do you go, right, I've never seen you play, I'm going to bowl my best ball to you, I'm going to chuck out deep cover, deep square, can have a slip, short leg, and bowl him, see what happens?
Yeah, I think we had like a meeting before every game on every batsman, and on that I ask for do they sweep, what sweeps do they play, and then I'd ask for will they run at me, and where are their
would you go sweep
general
first, or
scoring
would it
options.
matter?
Wouldn't matter to me. I just want to know those things. I want to know if someone's going to run at me a lot. I want to know are they going to reverse or hard sweep, or where's that going to go. Where's their one option, basically. Are there things I want to know? And if there's someone, and like I said, there are a lot of guys that over time, they actually develop a different way to play against you. So you can see the footage from the way they've played other spinners and stuff, but the way they actually bat against me individually may be different, but I would know that from having bowled at them.
So it's almost reworking them out again, because you've been around for a while now. So
yeah.
You burst onto the scene, obviously you got injured, and you've come back. Are you finding people are playing you differently now to when you first came on, because you've been around for a while?
Incredibly differently, yeah.
So you're now having to change your game, I
guess,
to try and get them out, rather than them just playing you how you were when you were 19, 20.
Yeah, and I think it's similar. If a young guy comes in their first few games, I'm bowling at them, I think the attitude straight away would be, I'm just going to bowl and good luck to you. Unless I know someone who knows them and they've said, they're a big sweeper, in which case you may do something. Or
do you ever get it right? Where you say to someone who's a young lad coming in, how does your mate play? And they say, he's a really good sweeper. Yeah. And then you'll bowl at them and he doesn't sweep you at all.
Yeah.
He uses his feet.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
What are you born about?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. But I mean, unless there's something glaring, it's just gone good. Good luck. And then as you go through the innings, you work out where you're looking to score and stuff. And now people do definitely play me differently. There's no doubt.
And that's a challenge within itself, isn't it? Having to really change your game now. But then in T20, obviously, you've done extremely well over the last 4 or 5 years doing it. What's your mindset and how you're looking to bowl your 24 balls you've got? Are you looking to attack and take wickets, or are you looking to go to run a ball?
There are certain times in the game where I bowl a ball and I'm trying to get them out of this ball. But T20, I think it's a dangerous way to go, is to think I'm going to get a wicket every ball. Yeah. Because then you're opening up your possibility of you could also go the distance. I think you can see sometimes when bowlers start searching for wickets, and it doesn't sit too well, because I just think you sort of intentionally risking putting the team under pressure by going for too many. And everyone knows in T20, if you bowl dot balls, you'll get wickets afterwards, because that's just how it is. You can't afford too many dots. People have to play a huge shot to you. So when I look at T20 innings, I'm thinking I'm trying to go for as few runs as I can. But it's kind of the knowledge that if I bowl a few dot balls or for a couple of overs, just go for singles, there's got to be a big shot coming. So I'm prepared for that. And that's where my preparation would come in. So I'd go, right, a few dot balls at this batter. When he's under pressure, he does this. He goes to a slog sweep.
And that's where your pre-match work comes in.
Yeah.
With, do they sweep? Do they run down the wicket?
Yeah.
I've got 2 dots on someone. Their go-to might be a reverse sweep.
Yeah. So now I'm bowling that ball thinking he's going to reverse sweep this. I'm going to keep it away from that. Or he's going to run at me this ball. And you can sort of, in T20, you can feel when something's about to happen.
Yeah.
And we always sit there on the balcony, and if someone's had a few dots, we always go, 6 or out.
Yeah.
6 or out. And it often is, and everyone can feel it. So when it gets to that point, then it's about knowing, right, this is what they do when they need a boundary. This is what they do.
And do you feel you've been successful in T20 and in white ball cricket not predominantly, but over the last short while because of the prep you put in before? Or do you just think it's you thinking, I guess like a batter, well, I know he reverses me, I've got 3 dots on him, I might go quick into the hit because it's harder to hit behind point.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, I think it'd be more that than... I think the preparation definitely helps, and there are certain players that more obvious than you would imagine actually when you look at it would go to a certain shot when they need to. Mm-hmm. And that's fine, but I think you also get to that point by bowling well. You don't if you don't bowl well, you never get to a point where they need to smash you around. So I think generally as well, I think in T20 it's quite an easy thing to do to kind of get quick and flat and skid them in and hope that eventually they miss one if you keep them all in line, and that's not really what I do, because it's not what I do best. So I spin the ball, and that's how I make people miss.
Because county cricket's hard, isn't it? You're playing 4-day cricket and then potentially a T20 game. Do you find, because obviously what you do, you try to spin the ball and bowl your best ball over and over, do you find that there is a difference that sometimes when it comes to a 4-day game, you've come off the back of a T20 or a 50-over game, that it takes you a while to get into it, and the same when it comes to you've come off the back of maybe a 4-day game, you're playing white ball cricket? Do you feel like sometimes they cross over too much?
Yeah, I think it makes the whole thing a bit more complicated, a bit harder. There's no doubt. I mean, the balls are different for a start, which is a big thing. But
what do you prefer bowling with? The Dukes in 4-day, or?
Well, I prefer bowling with whatever I'm bowling with at the time. So if I had a long stint with a Duke, I think this is great, I really like this, and then switch to Kookaburra straight away, and you go, it's different. Yeah. When you bowl with Kookaburra for a long time, you go, actually, no, I like this. And if you have enough time with it, it's fine, I find. But I think the hardest thing is where everyone says, just bowl your best ball, bowl your best. Well, actually, your best ball changes every day. Mm-hmm. So your best ball changes depending on the format. It depends, as you bowl a different length in each format. It depends on the wicket you're playing on.
I think that's so crucial.
So that's a hard thing. I don't run in every single day and aim at the same point, and I know if I hit that, I'll be okay, because on some wickets it won't do. And that's I think something that's not really understood widely is that actually it changes every day, and it's about it's how quickly actually you can find out what is my most probably effective is probably a better word. What's my most effective ball today?
Because you hear coaches and players and mainly batters go, just hit top of off, bowl your best ball. It's the same, just keep doing it. But they don't actually realise that it changes from wicket to wicket. You're playing Arundel, it's slow, it's going to spin, for instance. You might play the GS bowl on a fresh one, and it's not going to spin, and your lengths and lines are going to be different. Yeah. But people just bowl the same ball. But the same ball at Arundel to a GS is 2 completely different lengths, which people don't understand. Yeah, and as a spinner, line as well. Of course. If the wicket's spinning a lot, if I were to land it on off stump, it'd probably be going too much a lot of the time. Need to be running straight than that. So, that changes, and how quickly you get to that point is, I think, when people say, you see experienced bowlers, I think that's what it is. It's how quickly you go, right, this is the ball today, and then you can go to it straight away. And do you think the bowlers that are better and suited to those conditions, or the better bowlers, I'm just going to say in county cricket, are the ones that adapt quicker? Yeah, potentially, yeah. I think
they'd find out pretty quickly what's going to be their main ball today. It wouldn't take them too long to get there. They'd be there in the first over or two, and then they have the actual ability to stay there all day. That's the tough bit, yeah. Because people say hit the top of off, but actually to hit the top of off on every different given pitch, you have to land it in a completely different place.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't envy bowlers at all. I don't envy them at all. But